Hello to you all. My name is Anubhav Kashyap, and I'm currently in Communication Signal Processing and Learning in IITH. After all that messages on LinkedIn and WhatsApp, some people have been talked about me, like they want to know about how this M.Tech interview works in IIT. So I'll be showing like how I prepared for it so that you did not have to wait or like spend more about of time of yours, like doing all the wrong things which aspirants do all like. So, mastering the M.Tech interview, first segment, I will tell you with the slides I made, like what is the step by step, how you need to focus, how to need to prepare for the M.Tech interviews. Because most of the time in winter intake, what happens is the aspirants are less, the students are less, so they take directly interview. So don't go for like test and all. So the interview is the only thing which is there for you to get into some IITs. If you're able to crack the interview, your gate score doesn't matter after that. If you get a call and you're able to crack the interview, it doesn't really matter that your gate score is what its gate score is. Okay, so I'll show like from now. So I have already like worked on this. So I'll show you what are the technical foundation we need to work on. Really? Okay. So I'll be talking about WE and the EC background because I am from that, so I can tell you more about that. So basically, for the written test, I have prepared this thing for the written test also. Try to focus on two, three core subjects, which is basically in WE and EC, which is VLSI. If we talk about the VLSI branch, focus if you're focusing on fabrication, then you should be focusing more on the EDC and the semiconductor physics. Basically on the energy band diagram, okay, Fermi level and all. Okay, these are the core things. Like EDC, you should be very good with. The semiconductor, you should be, and you should know the concept behind that particularly, because professor will try to kind of dodge you on this, how, why, and how these kind of questions. So you should be ready with all the explanation, because if you have done all the derivation and you know the concept very well, then you will be able to go through these why and how questions. Okay, commonly in VLSI they will generally ask, if you went through the EDC or the fabrication paper, then they generally ask for semiconductor physics and EDC. Okay, if you are coming here, like if you're going so anywhere in the with any other IIT for the CSPL, for the communication signal processing and learning, basically this branch really requires only mathematics. Interviewer will only ask about the mathematics. Don't take pain if you don't know the signal system communication that much, because I didn't even know that. I generally prepared for the VLSI and communication signal processing. I just gave the interview and it was purely mathematics based. In the first panel, they asked me about the linear algebra for the rank nullity theorem, prove it, why rank nullity theorem works. You should know how the proofs work. And for the second panel, they directly like went through the probability part. Okay, applied probability should be must, like coin tosses questions, dice rolling, cards. You should be very good with this kind of setup. Okay, they generally just try to like squeeze out all the information that how you approach things. Approach is must, because they have checked their your technical knowledge in the examination, that you are able to get the answers right, but they want to know how you approach, because as an M.Tech RA or a research assistant or a research student, you need to come with some like correct approaches. Okay, just think from the interviewer's perspective, just try to make sure that you are on the right approach, right? So the thing which is, it is a very high probability that someone in the panel will ask you about the B.Tech project. That's why if you are seen in your admission portal, they have just want like abstract thesis, SOPs, like they want to know about what was your project. So be ready with your B.Tech project, what you have done. If you have didn't have worked on that much, like you have bought it or something else, just be ready with the questions, what your project is, what you want to what problem does it solve, what challenges did you faced, and how it is, like why it is useful for the society. These kind of questions should be ready for you. You should not think on the interview day, you should prepare yourself on for these questions. Okay, for the SOP and branch clarity. SOP, uh, what I think is, in India, like for the M.Tech specialization, most of the time you should be ready for the motivation. Like why you want to pursue this degree, why you want to do VLSI, why you want to do communication synthesis, why you want to do civil engineering in the geo some structural engineering or not. You should be ready. Why not? These questions should be ready, because these are the commitments that you show to the interviewer, that why you want to do. If your motivation is good, then the interviewer will like more interest in you, right? So be ready with your project story, guys. I didn't prepare for it. I somehow managed to go through because of the my I don't know how I made it, but I didn't give a thought, and I was good with this. So I like jumped on the next questions. So you need to know you need to know about the project of yours, B.Tech project. Because if I know from the IIT Delhi, this MSR program, they just required for the abstract thesis. Okay, abstract thesis generally means they will ask you about their questions on the like your B.Tech project. Okay, like interview dynamic and mindset. This is a very important point. Okay, most of the people which I know, which came for the CSPL or the VLSI interview, they were very good. They had a very good gate score, 600 plus, 700 even plus, but didn't able to make it because of the mindset. You won't There will be time that you don't know what is the question is. Okay, they will ask you question like, I'll can you give you an example. For the IITH, I came for the also the ICMP interview, which is integrated circuits and micro packaging. So what happened, they asked me about what is dangling bonding. Okay, I didn't even know about the dangling bonding at that much. I didn't even knew what the dangling bonding, where it occurs or where not. So you don't need to panic. Okay, you don't need to, just try to think. Don't say like, I don't know and I am not able to. Just ask. They will give you hints. They know that you don't know, right? They just want to know that how you react and how you approach things. Okay, just think, like critically think how you're approaching. They will give you a whiteboard or a marker. For most of the interviews on like offline setup or even on the online setup, they will give you a marker and they will ask you just go for the whiteboard directly, and they will giving you a question and try to solve that on that whiteboard. Okay, try to solve, try to write each and every step, and try to give them what you are thinking, right? I can give you an example. Like there are like, for the coin tosses question, that which was asked in my interview for the CSPL here, they were asking what is the probability of getting the head, what is the probability of getting the first head. Okay, this is a really a binomial question. Okay, in which the experiment will over only if the first head comes. Like first head comes, then it is done. For the second head come, like for the tail head combination, the head comes, then it's done. So this like this it goes on. It's a binomial question, right? You should know how to think. There will be cases that you don't know, right? You should be able to think and make an analogy between them. Okay, there will be time you're stuck, there will be time you don't know the answer. Just say to them, sir, I'm not able to recall right now, can you give me a slight hint? They will give you hint, that is for sure. Okay, they want to take best out of you from that interview. Okay, then be ready with this, like for the CSPL and the for the VLSI aspect. Okay, for the key takeaways of this, be ready for the 2 3 core subjects. For like for the CSPL and VLSI, be ready for the EDC, semiconductor physics. For the analog and the digital circuits and network perspective, be ready with the analog, digital electronics and this. For the CSPL, guys, be ready with the mathematics. In math, like for the CSPL, it is totally dependent on the mathematics. Probability, you need to be really good with the probability. Maths, for the maths, linear algebra, probability, transformation, graph transformation. You need to know how this like graph transformation works, how things works, right? You should be ready. Okay, you need to have some like you should know these subjects for the CSPL and the VLSI, right? And for the like final thoughts on this, guys, if you like, for I can tell about the W or the EC perspective. For the VLSI, be ready with the like if you're going for the fabrication perspective, be ready with the EDC and the semiconductor physics, gate PYQs, which is solvable. Do that. Try to gain all the theoretical knowledge and try to have derivations and all. For the CSPL, guys, be ready with the Gates mathematics, linear algebra, probability is must. They will ask you only this, which I think they can ask you like some it CSPL. It's mostly directly related with mathematics. It is purely mathematics. They don't. I like 50 of the students like were there in the interview, and from the most of them they just ask mathematics. Just be ready with the mathematics on this part. Okay. For the final takeaway, what I will think is just like the thing which like somebody gave me the advice is, if you don't know the answer, just say I'm not able to recall like right now. I can get back to you. Right. Just don't try to bluff them. Okay. They are very good at what they do. They know when you're bluffing them. So whenever you speak, the word you speak, the interviewer will go from there. Don't speak anything which you don't know. Don't try it and just say some fancy things which you don't know, and they will just stuck you in there and your interview get over. Don't do that. Okay. I have learned this skill after giving 2 3 interviews. So I'm saying to you, don't say any word which you don't know about that. Okay. This is my like my experience from the interviews for which I've given for the EE and the EC. And if you have very low gate score even, just apply. If you're gate qualified, just apply. It is, I think you will get a call. If you don't get a call, you at least you go for the interview. If you get a call, if you get an interview, just you have an experience for the next year. If you're appearing for the gate 2026. Okay. For like it's like for the closing lines, I will be sharing more about the gate 2026 strategy video if you want. If you want any new like questions, like what kind of question they ask for the M.Tech RA and VLSI, CSPL, okay, for the IITH placements perspective, what are the scenario, right? Just comment down below. I will surely making some video for that. Thank you.